got a bottle of Patron and some lights off. Two red devil looking eyeballs, and I'm finna turn up when the night falls. If you hear a siren, then it's my fault. Jump in my whip, baby, let's ride. We ain't gonna stop at a red light. And never take shots like a Tech 9. Go down, let me know, I'ma buy another round. Get low, drop it down to the ground. Oh yeah, wow, shorty make it bounce. Mama see the put cuffs on my cardiac. Took my breath away like a heart attack. And I'ma spend every dime and my money back. Everybody wanna know.
Hello everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. This time I'm riding KTM 390 Duke from 2021 and so far this one-cylinder engine is not disappointing. Hey guys, I was looking for a long time for a suitable motorcycle to learn stuff like stunts, wheelies, stoppies and things like that, and this might be it. Alright, that was really nice. So KTM 390 Duke is not the fastest motorcycle. The acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour of this bike would be something around 5 seconds. Like if this is your bike and you got accustomed to the power delivery and things like that. One thing to know about this machine is that the front end of this KTM is pretty light, so you can do wheelies like nothing, and you can even do power wheelies. Yeah, and one more thing to know about KTM is that we have very short gears. The first gear goes up to 50, maybe 55 kilometers per hour. The second one goes up to 70 or 80 maybe. So fortunately this bike, this 2021 year model, allows you to go to 100 kilometers per hour in the third gear, so you don't have to shift all the way up to the fourth one, which is rather good for acceleration. But yeah, gears are very short. I feel like this is the most suitable motorcycle if you're a hooligan, if you want to do some crazy shit on the bike, and if you ride in the city. Just yesterday I was riding Cove 321 single R Cobra, and that bike was absolutely awesome. It was super light. It was even lighter than this bike. So the curb weight of this machine is 167 kilograms. Actually, on the frame, it's rated 163. The only thing for certain is that the dry weight of this bike is 149 kilograms. So yesterday I was riding Cove, which is 149 kilograms wet. So that bike was even lighter than this. And I would tell you guys that actually this KTM doesn't feel heavier. It feels just as light. Right now I'm in the second gear. If I would just open the throttle, I'm pretty sure we'll just do a tiny power wheelie. The torque is pretty significant. It's so punchy. Like, it kicks your ass. It kicks your ass so much. But one honorable mention, guys, is that this KTM from 2021 doesn't have a super jerky throttle, so this throttle is rather manageable. Let's just get to the gas station for a sec. So I was saying, guys, that the spec sheet doesn't do this motorcycle justice. On paper we have 43 horsepower, 37 newton meters of torque, and you think like, oh yeah, like this is pretty much the same as Z400 has or some other parallel twins. But guys, this single cylinder engine kicks differently, I'm telling you. First off, once you open the throttle, the bike pulls so hard. We have really short gears, so the torque is available everywhere. Some people might argue that they don't really like the way it sounds. It might sound like a tractor. But I like it, guys. I mean, actually, I'm a big fan of single cylinders. And here in China, supermotos are not allowed. And this KTM, I feel like, is the closest thing to a supermoto. We have this really nice supermoto mode. And guys, speaking about the supermoto mode, I'll tell you one thing which nobody talks about, which is quite strange. So everybody's saying, oh yeah, we have the supermoto button which disables rear ABS. Oh yeah, good. But no freaking body's talking about the front ABS. So once you did a tiny wheelie. Once you are in supermoto mode, your rear ABS is disengaged, but your front ABS gets like almost non-existent. You can do stoppies like nothing. It's so freaking fun. Like, guys, I'm not an expert. I have no freaking idea how to do stoppies. I have no idea how to do rolling stoppies. But once you are in supermoto mode, you can do stoppies and rolling stoppies like nothing, like an expert. It's so freaking easy, but it's pretty dangerous. So you can flip over like nothing again. I feel like if you don't really know how to use the supermoto properly, and you would think that it would only disengage the rear ABS and you just grab the brakes during the emergency, you'll just do a front flip, which I love. So supermoto mode is my favorite feature of KTM 390 by far, and it's not even close. You can skid, you can do stoppies, you can do wheelies on this bike, everything. The only problem with this bike, guys, is, let's say if you're a beginner and you want to buy this bike to learn, let's say, first gear wheelies. First gear will still be a little bit abrupt. It will still be way too jerky for learning wheelies. If you are an expert and you want to do some wheelies, like, it will be super easy on this bike. But I would tell you that some bikes which have a little less cc or a little less power would be a little bit more approachable for people who want to learn wheelies. And I feel like for the vast majority of people who just start learning, it will be a little bit too much. The newest KTM 390 Duke has power mode. And some people think that those power modes are redundant. They're like, why do I want to have a power mode on a motorcycle which has only like 390 cc or something? And guys, the reason why is that you can really learn wheelies in the first gear on a bike like that. Meanwhile, on this bike, you have to be pretty good at wheelies to do first gear wheelies. So this is the difference. Yeah, guys, we got to the place where I tried to do some wheelies. I don't know, let's just flick around. It's really maneuverable, guys. And you know, ergonomic wise, this bike is very suitable for a person my size. I'm 1 meter 85 centimeters and I feel so good. And guys, one more thing to tell you is that I'm sitting very, very close to those bars. Those bars are really nice and wide. I really like them a lot. And yeah, you sit right there. So you have so much control over this machine. I feel like KTM 390 Duke is already a ready stunt bike. You don't have to freaking change anything on this machine. Genuinely, like, I feel like if you want to do some wheelies, skids, stoppies, this bike is already good enough. Oh my god. The best bike in terms of stunts, for sure, if we're talking about stock bikes. Let me talk about specifications. By the way, found neutral from the first time. So obviously this is 2021 year model. We have 373cc engine, one cylinder engine, 43 horsepower, 37 newton meters of torque. The engine pulls really hard. We have 320 millimeter single disc. We have 4-piston caliper from the front. The name of the caliper is BYBRE, Biber, whatever. I mean, if you know how to read that, let me know in the comment section below. But guys, listen, these brakes are really good. They're really sharp. And given the lightweight of the bike, I would say that these brakes are way better than I expect them to be. And of course, we have supermoto mode, so you can do stoppies and everything. So I really like the brakes. And from behind, guys, we have 300, and I feel like it's 340 millimeter single disc. I might be wrong. Yeah, for this bike, rear brake is really important, because most of people who buy those bikes, they do wheelies, and in order to do a safe wheelie, you have to stay on the rear brake all the time. So we have one piston caliper, I guess, maybe two piston caliper, but the rear brake is pretty good. Yeah, and of course you can disengage it with a Supermoto mode. I've mentioned, right, we have 167 kg carb weight, but over here on the frame it's written 163 kilograms, so it might be even lighter than that. But feelings wise, guys, this bike is very, very light. By the way, speaking about suspension, we have preload adjustable monoshock from behind, which is pretty cool, and from the front, from the front we have WP suspension, which is non-adjustable, and we have upside down front fork. This suspension is really good, given that we're going to go up and down all the freaking time riding this bike. Front suspension is very important, and WP is a pretty good brand. I like it so far. Guys, listen, I'll talk about the seat. To my knowledge, this is 830 millimeter seat, and it's really very suitable for a person my size. I'm 1 meter 85 centimeters, and guys, check this out. I love this material, this foam. I feel like it's some sort of a memory foam. It's very soft and it's super pleasant to the touch. And I was riding with a passenger, with my girlfriend, and she told me that this is probably one of the most comfortable small cc motorcycles we were riding. So yeah, guys, love this bike so much. Oh, one more thing, slipper clutch. We have a slipper clutch, and we have ride-by-wire, which is super sensitive, super responsive, but not too touchy actually, so it will not be as bad as previous KTMs, but still I would not recommend you to buy this bike if you are a total noob. Yeah, guys, listen, I love this bike so much. This is probably one of the best motorcycles you can buy for, I don't know, 30-40,000 RMB here in China. I'm very curious about the new Duke. Hope I'll be able to ride it soon. Let me just hop on the bike and let's do more wheelies, shall we? Oh shit. Oh my god, it's so freaking fun and so scary. It's so dangerous. Alright, I feel like it will not be better than this. Let's go home, guys! Let's go home! Alright, guys, I feel like my friend did not race, but we still won! Oh my god, guys, listen, just now I was trying to do wheelies and stoppies for 20 minutes or so, and I'm still under the impression. I'm thinking about this bike more than I thought. By now, this is the most fun bike I've ever ridden in my life due to the Supermoto mode. I feel like this feature unique, and not a single bike I'm aware of has something like that. Actually, Cove has this unique feature where you can turn it off, turn front ABS off as well. So probably Cove is one of those bikes which can compete with KTM Duke 390 in terms of being top tier hooligan bike and being a super capable stunt machine. But guys, I'm telling you, something about this Duke is super special, which is super addictive. I just can't get enough. This suspension, this engine, ride-by-wire throttle, ergonomics of this machine is superb for a person my size. I'm 1 meter 85 centimeters. Honestly, guys, I live in a big city and I don't really need more power than that. This engine is super punchy. If I'm, let's say, in the second gear and I'll just rapidly open the throttle, I'll just do a tiny power wheelie. Do you need more power than that? Be honest. I feel like no. So if you don't want to indulge your ego and you're just looking for the top tier motorcycle for a city, will be like a learning tool for you, which would endlessly keep on teaching you new things, and would be an infinite source of joy in your life, I feel like this bike would be your main priority. I feel like there's nothing which you can buy which would be better than this. And guys, I rode so many motorcycles. I rode 790 Duke, I rode Super Duke from 2016, I rode Ducati Monster, Yamaha 09. I mean, I rode pretty much everything you can buy. And so far, I'll not lie, this might be my favorite motorcycle. And you know that I was an owner of Z400, and I knew that KTM would be more fun to ride, but I just didn't know that it would be so much more fun to ride. And I can tell you right away that this motorcycle is not for everybody. If you're a tiny girl who doesn't really want to do stoppies, wheelies, and looking for the most, I don't know, confidence-inspiring option, I feel like Z400 will be a better motorcycle. It's not jerky, you don't have to shift that much, that often. And it's like very reliable, and it's a very solid and good motorcycle overall. But if you want to become a hooligan who does wheelies all the freaking time, stoppies and things like that, guys, look no further. KTM Duke from 2021 is just perfect. I rode KTM from 2018 as well, and this was a very good motorcycle as well, but the throttle on that model was a little bit too jerky. This throttle is way more manageable. Again, the power is available freaking everywhere. It's so freaking good, I'm telling you guys. But this initial twist of the wrist is not as unpredictable as it was before. So the power got a little bit more accessible for an average rider. But still, I feel like it will not be the best beginner's bike for sure. Yeah, guys, suspension on this machine is just perfect. We have WP front suspension, we have preload adjustable monoshock from behind, and as I do those stoppies and wheelies, I drop my bike from time to time pretty bad on the asphalt, and I'll tell you that this shock just absorbed the impact so well, like really good. Speaking about the suspension, I would say that once you ride where the asphalt is a little bit bumpy, this suspension feels very good. It's pretty solid, but not too solid. I mean, I love it so much, guys. I feel like this is the sweet spot for a motorcycle like that. And again, my biggest hope is that this motorcycle would be reliable. And I do hope that this suspension would not let you down once you do your wheelies constantly and consistently. Oh my God. I mean, do you need more power than that? Do you need more power than that? Oh, and the handling is just superb. Yeah, I feel like I can touch the asphalt with my knee, even though I've never done it in my life. I just feel extremely confident on this machine, guys. I feel as if I can do whatever I want. It feels like you can control every single aspect, everything on this machine so well. And you don't have to be top tier rider in order to perform well on this motorcycle. But again, I feel like KTM 390 Duke would definitely benefit if you are a skillful rider. I feel like the more skillful you are, the more things you can do on this bike. And actually, it's applicable for pretty much every single motorcycle. But something tells me that if you're a skillful hooligan, this bike would be just a pure joy to ride. Hey guys, throttle is just incredible, ride by wire. Few things I don't like about this bike. The first thing is that I think that they should give you a quick shifter, and in China the quick shifter not available. But I feel like this is just a revenge, because you know NK800 in China has quick shifter, like every single NK800 has a quick shifter, but abroad you don't guys have a quick shifter, right? You have to get this 8-inch dash NK in order to have a quick shifter. So I feel like this is Austrian revenge to those Chinese guys who purchased those bikes. So the first complaint that we don't have a quick shifter, and I guess my second complaint is that when you do your stoppies and wheelies and let's say accidentally stole the bike, you cannot just press this button and start the bike. You have to be in neutral, which is, I mean, I don't know, it makes no sense. Maybe other bikes don't have this problem, maybe this particular KTM has, but yeah, I just don't like it too much. But yeah, guys, other than that, I feel like this is just an awesome bike, super comfortable, like extremely comfortable, extremely confidence inspiring. If you ride with a passenger, the power will be available everywhere still, so you'll be able to overtake cars like nothing, even with a passenger. Your passenger would feel absolutely awesome. The seat is just incredible. This memory foam could not be better. The dash is pretty good, informative. There's only one question that I can ask you, actually, guys. If you know, please let me know in the comment section below. So over here we have few indicators, few signs which are not glowing, and one of those signs is traction control. Obviously we're doing wheelies and burnouts and things like that, so right now traction control is not on for sure, and I don't think that this bike has traction control. But if it doesn't have a traction control, why do we have this TC over here? If you know something about that, please let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, guys, I was talking about stoppists, so let me just talk about brakes in general. Brakes are really good. Once you're in the road mode, you can pretty much stop with no stoppists, even though you'll stop really rapidly. I feel like this ABS is just nice, very nice, not intrusive at all. If you think that this ABS is intrusive, you know what to do. You just turn into Supermoto ABS mode, and ABS will never ever engage to the extent where you don't feel like it's there. So ABS on this bike is perfect. Brakes are good enough. Ergonomics is perfect. I really like touch and finish on this bike. We have this beautiful, really solid, nice looking, nice feeling gas tank. Feels absolutely awesome, very high quality, I would say. The price of this bike in China right now is 30,000 RMB. If we're talking about second-hand motorcycle, when this bike was new, the price was 47,000 RMB, which is super expensive. It was like over $7,000. But guys, I'm very surprised. By now, it might be my favorite motorcycle. I know that you're probably asking me, so is it better than NK 450? Is it better than the Co 321 or Cobra? And I would tell you that for me, this bike is better, for sure, no doubt in my head. But I'm a person who tries to learn wheelies and stoppings and things like that. So for me, this bike is just perfect. But honestly, I feel like some people would still prefer NK450. I feel like NK450 in terms of 0 to 100 acceleration would be faster. It will be smoother. It would sound a little bit better for some people, but for me this bike sounds good as well. So yeah, I would choose KTM. I think, guys, I would choose KTM just because we have this magic Supermoto button. But if you want the safest option possible, probably NK450 would be better because we have traction control for sure. And yeah, that bike would feel a little bit faster, a little bit smoother. Gearbox on those bikes is just incredible. The only thing about this KTM is that every single time I upshift, let's say, not every single time, but sometimes I hear some knocking. It's like poof, some knock, which comes out from the transmission every single time. Not every single time, but when I upshift or downshift, like. Yeah, so this is the only problem, but again, it's not a problem. I really even like it, so no problem whatsoever. Speaking about gearbox, I would say that this bike's gearbox is really nice. The only tiny detail, the only tiny issue that I found is that from time to time when you upshift, you hear some knocking coming out of transmission, but it doesn't influence in a bad way the up or downshifting on this motorcycle. Again, unfortunately, we don't have a quick shifter here in China. But yeah, the gearbox is perfect. Slipper clutch is very nice, very soft. I was doing wheelies for 15 minutes and eventually I got tired, but yeah, so far so good, guys. Yeah, beautiful motorcycle. Love it so much. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think about this bike. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, leave me a comment in the comment section below, my people. And as always, stay safe and I see you in my next videos. Bye everybody, take care.
To the ground, oh yeah, wow, shorty make it bounce. Mama see the